everybody. So we're going to be looking at the information systems approach to organizations, which is a theory done by Carl Weick. And in this theory, Carl Weick is really uncomfortable comparing organizations to live bodies, but he definitely regards organizing as a lively process. Weick focuses on the common process of organizing, which is the verb, rather than the static structure of the organization, which is the noun. This approach can seem really methodical or mathematical, but Weick tries to create a less sterile approach. Carl Weick really equates organizing with information processing, and this information is the common raw material that all organizations process. But communications is different because there can be two plausible interpretations. In Weick's model, he describes how people make sense of these confusing verbal inputs. His idea of organizing as a way to make sense of these equivocal information, which seems close to Shannon and Weaver's information theory and Berger's uncertainty reduction theory, which are chapters 2 and 9 in the textbook. The main difference between Weick and these theorists is that Weick draws a clear distinction between uncertainty and equivocality. Uncertainty denotes a lack of information, like people who are uncertain look for more facts and a way to interpret them. Equivocality refers to situations where people face the choice of two or more alternative interpretations where both can be right. For example, when you're signing up for classes and your friends have multiple opinions of professors or classes to take, this doesn't mean that they're right or wrong. It's just a difference of multiple interpretations and the environment of that organization that they were in. Alright, so the next section is sense-making in a loosely coupled system. Robert Hutchins of the University of Chicago claims that neither the students nor professors can integrate truths presented within a department. Weick agrees by saying that the university organizations have goals that are inconsistent, ill-defined, and loosely coupled, technology that no one understands, and participants who vary in how much time and effort they invest in the organization. But this is way more optimistic than Hutchins. And if you can't catch what he's talking about, he's really describing the individual organizations on a university's campus. So the departments that we're all in, the majors that we major in, and the minors that we're contributing to, they're all different just because of the environment that they're each. Weick also believes that the complexity and diversity within the organization to match the multiple interpretations is of the data that it processes, which Weick calls requisite variety. Weick celebrates the differences in something that could be a static theory. Like he uses the Bible passage 1 Corinthians 12:14 through 21. Weick uses the Bible passage 1 Corinthians chapter 12 verses 14 through 21. In this passage, it illustrates the interconnectedness that Weick regards as the primary feature of organizing life. He describes this interconnectedness as the double interact, which consists of three elements: act, response, and adjustment. So the third section that we're going to be looking at is organizing to survive in a changing environment. Charles Darwin's theory of evolution plays a part in Weick's theory. Charles Darwin's theory of evolution plays an important part of Weick's theory. Natural selection and the survival of the fittest results in a form of life better suited to its surroundings through the process of variation, selection, and retention. So the final section that we're going to look at is the three-stage process of sociocultural evolution. I'm going to explain the whole process at the end because I have a really good example that I think will really help you understand what this section really means. So the first stage is enactment. Don't just sit there, do something, which is also the action stage. Stage 2 is selection, which is also known as retrospective sense-making. And it's easily defined by a quote that I found in the textbook, which is, "Knowing what I know now, should I change the way I label and connect the flow of experience?" And this just really takes whatever you know from the inside and how you apply it to the outside world. And the last stage is retention. Treat memory as a pest. So like I said, I would explain it at the very end. And I'm going to use college graduation as an example for this process. For the first stage, we're all kind of in this action stage where we really don't know what's going on and a lot of things are happening really fast. And then it gets to the point where we have to make a selection and learn from what we've taken here and take it to the outside world, which is graduation. And the last step is retention. How are we going to retain everything that we've learned here and take it to the real world? And like it says, use memory as a pest. So whatever we've learned here and whatever we're going to learn out there, we should use that and make it our pest. So it should always be sitting on our shoulder reminding us, maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should go to bed earlier, and maybe we should find a better job to help pay for those loans. So that is the end of the video. I hope y'all learned something and were able to understand this chapter a little bit better. I know that I learned and understood this a little bit better now that I've explained it out loud a little bit.